Hello and welcome to Salford Now. I'm Charlie Mulholland.
And I'm Rachel Allison. Coming up on today's show. Taking a dive, Canals and River Trust rescue fish from a dried up canal.
A spooky Salford mystery. Why were there skeletons marching through the city?
And in sport, we celebrate the International Day of Disabled Persons, where we'll be joined by Lancashire cricketer Ollie Thorpe, and we'll hear from swimmer Lee Taylor.
Good afternoon. The University of Salford have announced a budget deficit of £48 million. They faced financial problems in the past and have stated that there are no plans for compulsory redundancies. Michael Adams has more.
With over 20,000 students paying upwards of £9,000 per year, it's hard to imagine that the University of Salford is facing financial difficulties. However, that's the reality that they're dealing with this week after announcing a £48 million deficit. We reached out to Vice-Chancellor Professor Helen Marshall and we were sent this statement on her behalf earlier today. The underlying operational performance of the university is strong and builds on the previous financial years. It shows a consistent performance despite challenging operating conditions. The university has delivered an operational surplus of £6.4 million and our cash position remains strong with over £18 million generated between 2018 and 2019. This position is not unique to the University of Salford and in no way affects our positive operating profits. We've managed the increasing cost pressures through careful financial management. We've continued to see year-on-year growth and are now the fourth fastest growing university for undergraduate recruitment in the UK. And with this issue affecting both staff and students, we were keen to find out the word about campus.
I mean, I feel quite insecure about it. If you pay so much money, you would expect the university to manage the money better.
It is quite worrying, but for me, the uni's been perfect with everything that I needed.
That is a lot of people paying a lot of money. I don't know what the uni have done with the money, where it's gone. I mean, obviously look at the facilities. It's going somewhere, but it's obviously not going in the right places.
Whilst the uni remain optimistic, it's clear that staff and students want more answers. Michael Adams, Salford Now.
It's a sight more common in the height of summer, but a dried up canal in Salford has been putting local wildlife at risk. Middlewood Deep Lock in Ordsall dried up after the water pumping station further upriver was reportedly broken into and had its copper cabling stolen. Joe Wilmot reports.
Now, the Middlewood Deep Lock has been rebuilt and regenerated over the last few years to make way for a brand new multi-million-pound development, Middlewood Locks. Now, on Twitter, a gentleman posted a video of the dried up canal. He says that it's been empty for the last 3 to 4 days. As you can see from this footage, the guys from the Canals and River Trust are working hard to fish out the wildlife from the lock to make sure that there are as few casualties as possible. Speculation is that a pumping station further down the River Irwell was vandalised and broken into, and the copper cabling from the water pump generators was stolen. According to people that I've spoken to around here, 2 new generators or pumps have been sourced. They then started to pump water again and then they broke. I've now been told within the last few minutes that an engineer is en route. They expect the water to be flowing again and the canal to refill with water within the next hour or so.
In a statement, a spokesperson for the Canal and River Trust said, "We are currently investigating why the water has been drained from Middlewood Locks on the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal. Our fisheries team are on site and have carried out a fish rescue. Canal and River Trust staff are working hard to get the water back into the lock as quickly as possible, and we will continue to monitor the situation."
The Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists are calling for the contraceptive pill and emergency contraception pill to be more accessible. They say the pill should be sold straight off the shelf without the need for a potentially embarrassing consultation with a GP or pharmacist. The contraceptive pill, a drug only pill or the morning after pill. Women's health experts from the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists are calling for contraception to be more easily accessible without the need for a GP consultation.
There are a number of barriers to good health, and one of those is being able to see a health professional. There are probably more risks of not having it available, because if a woman has to first go and consult with a GP, then they could potentially miss the opportunity to actually take the morning after pill. The consequences of an unplanned pregnancy, can be devastating for the woman and for the baby.
The Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists states too many women are spending years in pain and discomfort because GP appointment times are too short and demands on the time of doctors and other healthcare professionals are too great. This makes women less likely to talk about their issues.
And then that's when they found I had a blood clot on my left lung, which they said was through the contraceptive pill.
Without the Salford Royal Hospital consultation, bar manager Courtney Haggerty wouldn't have known that her condition was caused by the contraceptive pill.
I was shocked because I didn't think that I thought the pill just caused headaches, weight gain, mood swings.
What advice would you give to young women about the contraceptive pill?
I would just say that you need to be more cautious of what you are taking and what you're putting into your body. I think there's better options other than the pill. I mean, I know the injection can work for people and the coils can work and stuff. Everyone has a bad experience with something, but a bad experience of maybe like bleeding or something like that is nothing compared to having a blood clot and your life being put at risk.
More than one in four of us have to deal with mental health in our lifetime. Now, one care home in Salford is trying to help the local community deal with mental health issues.
The facility is run by Sigent Care Homes. Our reporter Helen Mather is outside their building in Salford. Helen, who are they trying to help?
Hi, so Signet are here to help 24 women. It's going to be a full rehabilitation centre where they stay, and once they're better, there's 5 bedrooms available for them to move into their own apartment building. So it's meant to get them ready to move into the local community and get them ready. But unfortunately for Signet, a lot of the local community aren't too pleased with their mental health centre moving here. They're worried about the safety of the children and being scared to go near somewhere. And some of the women might have schizophrenia or bipolar or multiple person disorder. So it's them kind of people that the community are really worried about.
Now it's the internet.
So Signet Health. So Signet Health are opening the doors in December to all their patients. A woman today spoke to us and she said that she understands that people in the area need help, but this is just not the right place for it. They're surrounded by 3 local schools and they just don't think right now here is right for this area, and just hope that one day the community will be ready to accept Signet in, but she says for right now they're not going to be able to.
Now, it's the International Day for Disabled Persons, and we've decided to focus on disabled sports. Here with more, it's Ben.
International Day of People with Disabilities began in 1992 with the hope to increase public awareness, understanding and acceptance of people with disability. This year's theme is The Future is Accessible, creating a future where people are not excluded because of their health impairments. A 2018 study by Sport England has shown the number of disabled people participating in sport and weekly exercise has dropped by an astonishing 10% since the highly successful 2012 Paralympics. I am now joined in the studio with Ollie Thorpe, who plays for the Lancashire Disability Team. Ollie, first of all, you made your appearance for Lancashire in 2018, and how has it been going since then?
Yeah, I mean that was obviously a great thing to get my first cap, and since then it's been great. The support that I've had has been fantastic, and hopefully there'll be more success in times to come. And
how have you found playing sports with a disability? Is there enough options there for you to go into it?
Well, Ben, whenever I first started, obviously coming from Northern Ireland, there was limited opportunities. But since moving over to England in 2017, I found that there's been plenty of opportunities, certainly within cricket, but also further afield. And yeah, people they've got to be aware of it, and hopefully then they can pick something up.
And of course, you say it's not only cricket, it's all sports, and that's one thing they need to push it more for disabled people to go into.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly from my point of view, whenever I started back home in Northern Ireland, there was nothing, and coming over, I had to go looking for it. It wasn't on the mainstream, social media platforms with clubs or organisations or governing bodies. So really, I had to go looking for it, and then once I looked for it, then I was able to make contacts and then develop.
So what would you prefer to be there to make it easier to make that step into sport?
I think the support, first of all, and then after that, just more support to help integrate into a team environment, and then also help develop skills within the sport. To become the best that I can and other disabled sports people can.
We'll talk about different sports. Now let's hear from Lee Taylor, a swimmer from the university.
I'm a swimmer. I do a lot of gym stuff as well, like lifting weights and all the rest of it. So I do a lot of swimming. My biggest length count would be about 64 lengths. That was a big achievement for me at the time. There's a lot of disabled people around. And I just think there needs to be more doors open. Like the thing that came to my mind the other day, there was a hand bike that you can use that works the exact same way as a normal bike would. However, you literally just use your arms like this on it, and it'll jog you along a path. So if I'm over here, I can start rolling, and I can get to about here. So it is a strange one, and there is a lot of awareness out there for younger people. I think there needs to be more things for the wider variety of disabled people, because it's not just people in wheelchairs that need this kind of sports, it's people with learning difficulties, any kind of difficulty.
Charlie, that's all from us. Back to you.
Thanks very much, guys. Now, if you love mysteries, this story is going to be one for you. It's been 200 years since the bones of Thomas Paine were found in Salford. However, found in the missing. It's been 200 years since the bones of Thomas Paine went missing in Salford, and the transmission of his body was stopped before it got to Manchester. The arts company Walk the Plank and Salford have been working. Salford Working Class Movement Library held a procession to recreate the journey of the community. Benjamin Stacey reports.
We'll have more on this one later on in the show. Oh, sorry, apologies. We do
have. Dry with some bright spells, but also some varied cloud.
Stop it.
Apologies for that. Sorry, we thought we had Ben Stacey there, but we had we had George instead. So right now it's the Christmas season, and the weather is pretty frightful, I must say. Let's hear from George.
This afternoon will be dry with some bright spells, but also some varied cloud. Tonight will be dry but chilly, with tomorrow looking to be another dry day with sunny intervals, with the rest of the week set to be cloudy and some rain expected later on in the week. If you're going to the Christmas markets over there, make sure to wrap up warm.
Thank you, George. We'll make sure to wrap up warm. Now we can hear from Benjamin Stacey.
A long habit of not thinking a thing wrong gives it a superficial appearance of being right.
His work inspired the likes of Benjamin Franklin, and yet we don't know where his body lies. Thomas Paine's bones were lost in transition between Salford and Manchester. They had been brought from the US for burial, but the Mancunians were not keen on hosting his grave, and in the dispute, his bones were stolen. Now, 200 years on, arts group Walk the Plank have recreated the procession with the Working Class Movement Library. Hundreds turned up to support the march and the festivities of the night.
It is a good turnout. It was, we literally did stop traffic, everybody. We stopped traffic.
I'm currently outside the People's History Museum with the Bones of Pain procession, where they're telling a tale that could raise the dead.
Salford's got an amazing hidden history, and events like this are about drawing attention to things that have happened in the past, but also places like the library that people might not know about, and it's hopefully an interesting and fun way of celebrating our heritage.
William Cobbett was that man, and oft away was he. Nancy left alone for years house and all the work for she.
There were musical performances, readings of his work, and an interactive Day of the Dead themed dance. It's all sticks and stones, and maybe one day they'll find Thomas's bones. Benjamin Stacey, Salford Now.
Well, that's all from us. I hope you had a good day, and goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.